Shorebreak Sounds.
Welcome to Over the Falls podcast, episode number 51. This week we sat down with Al and Ioan from Lost Mines. We chat about them exploring the abandoned mines in our local area, finds, history, close calls, and a few creepy stories. Do you want to support local growers and farmers? Are you keen to have local, nutritious food on your plate? At Boyd Dovey Hub, they sell some of the best local produce from the Dovey Biosphere and Ceredigion. They offer collections and delivery around Aberystwyth, Borth and Talabont. Visit the online shop, open Thursday to Sunday, to order delicious food and show your support to local growers and farmers. So for people who don't know you boys, tell us what you do.
So we're Lost Mines. We explore abandoned mines around Ceredigion and further afield sometimes. Recording the history, documenting it all because a lot of these mines are disappearing fast. So we're trying to preserve the history of the past, what the miners did around here.
Okay, so how did it start with you guys then? I mean,
I was working in a crematorium at the time and I wanted something to... cremating people all day, I wanted something to clear my head. So I like old things because I'm into metal detecting and that. So I started exploring Cymystwyth. I met this chap in there and he says, "You're very similar to Ioan, you need to contact him." Gave him his contact details and we arranged to meet outside of mine. It was a bit weird.
That's right, yeah, because I'd been exploring for, well, ever since I was too young to remember. I'd had an interest in the mines and specifically, you know, recording the history and writing it all down and whatnot. And I got this message from Al one day. And
it just clicked.
Yeah, it all took off then, really.
So we explored for a while without filming anything. Mm-hmm. And then I come up with the idea, let's film it and show the world or you know, what it was really like back in the days. And that's how it happened. Yeah.
So which is the first one you went down then? What was the one?
Are we allowed to name it?
You don't have to name it.
Yeah,
you don't have to name it.
It was nearby, was it?
It was Pant Mawr, it was.
It was one of those, wasn't it? Yeah.
It was Pant Mawr, it was.
Yeah.
Flooded mine, kayaked into it.
Wow.
Oh, cool.
Did some abseiling in there. Some amazing artefacts in there.
One of the special things that we always do with our videos specifically is we never show the location on screen. And that's that's very important to us because in respecting the history of the site, we also don't want hordes of people going there because here we are broadcasting it all over all over YouTube. So we're very careful in the way that we do it as well.
Yeah. Other people do explore the mines and, you know, they're allowed to and all that, but you do get people going in and graffitiing on the walls, taking the artefacts, things like that.
Generally damaging stuff.
So we like to preserve the history. You know?
You want to do the polar opposite, don't you?
Yeah.
Preserve everything.
Yes.
What sort of like permissions and things and safety do you have to go through before you go down these? Surely you can't just rock up and start walking down a mine.
You need to have underground insurance, caving insurance, contact the landowner, mineral holder, whoever it may be, and then just get full permission then to go in, which we always do. So
mineral
it's
owner.
striking a balance.
What's that?
So land ownership is completely different to mineral ownership. So say now that a farmer owns the land, he probably doesn't own the mine at all.
What's underneath it, and mineral, etc.
Exactly.
Okay.
So lots of the mineral rights are owned by the old estates and stuff in the area. So
I can imagine that gets quite complicated.
Yes, very much. Yeah,
because you need access from the land and then permission to go in the mineral.
Exactly.
Not always though, but you know.
It depends because quite often, sometimes they merge, or when the estates are closed down, they'll revert to the landowner or whatnot. It depends on each one's a bit different, but as long as you do it properly, you know, and you build up your reputation in that way, where you're not just some random guy that posts videos on YouTube, but you're actually there to care for this history as well. It's just more meaningful that way.
Yeah, it was amazing how you came together though, almost like it was meant to be. You know what I mean?
Yeah, but we got the same interests. And there's like 25 years between us, something like that.
Just click though.
Click, yeah.
And it's interesting what we both bring to the channel because I'm more of a sort of academic side researcher, spend most of my time in the library and stuff, but then Al knows all the landowners.
A lot of them,
so we both bring our own aspects to the channel.
Made in heaven, that is.
Yeah. So he's got what I need and I've got what he needs to explore.
So what prep do you have to do before going down these? What sort of research are you doing?
What I do is I always look at the mine plans, if there are any historical reports, anything that can tell us about what we might be up against, if there's going to be a 500-foot deep hole under the floor, whatever the case may be. Plus, it means when we go there, we, rather than saying, oh yeah, look, it's an old tunnel, we can say, right, this fits this report, that this was the level driven in January 1865, and it just makes it more interesting then. So I like to know what the mineral is, what the age is, and generally, what are we up against?
Speak to the farmers, or whoever owns the land. Say, do you know anything about this mine? And is it safe or whatnot? And go like that, So,
safety's a big thing, isn't it?
Massive.
How long have these mines been abandoned for? I mean,
well over 100 years.
Yeah, and so you guys could be the first ones going down there for a long time, right?
Yeah. I mean, sometimes we are the first ones.
The early mines, though, the early mines, the 1600s, they're really solid mines. They don't very rarely collapse.
Generally, the newer they are, the worse.
Yes.
Because what the miners did was they put these timber props and platforms in and backfilled on top of them. So if it dates from the 1600s, they've well rotted and gone. But the mines that were abandoned latest, all that's still hanging above your head in there. So actually, the older the mine, generally, the safer they are.
And the more modern mines use dynamite and black powder and all, and blasting away, it's weakening the rock, so you do get the collapses then.
As we're talking about health and safety, you use the word collapse. Have you ever sort of been in a mine and something has happened bad, like a collapse?
Yeah, I've heard a collapse down a shaft within a mine. So I heard a big rumble. We went to look at it, but you couldn't tell. It was beyond another collapse, it was.
Okay.
We hear things, and we've never had a case where we've been buried, well, for obvious reasons we're here now, but we've never been buried alive.
I've fallen off a ledge, fell and broke my ribs and knocked myself out. You had a bad accident recently as well. So.
There is a certain amount of risk, but the thing is we mitigate that as much as is practicable.
Of course.
Absolutely. Yeah.
So it's just a matter of knowing everything you can when you go in. People know where you are. We've got a cut-off time, and we just take those precautions, really.
Yeah, we do, yes.
You said you had like maps and drawings and whatnot.
Yeah.
Any surprises when you go down there? It's like, that's completely wrong.
Quite often, actually.
Right.
Yeah, that's
more often than not.
Yeah, the best part for me, as a mine nerd, that's the best part for me, because I'll look at this plan from 1870, say, and half of what we see underground isn't on the map. Well, clearly it was opened after 1870. Yeah. So what I like about going underground is it's part of the research. It's part of the archive research, actually getting in there and seeing for yourself what's there.
And I like finding the old things.
Yeah.
That's my thing.
The artefacts.
Yes.
Can you tell us a little bit about cool things you found?
The children's boots.
Children's boots.
So hobnail boots, we guesstimate size 2. Hobnail boots.
Perfect pair of them next to each other.
On the bench, mid-1800s that mine shut. So it gives you an idea
how old were these children who were in the mines?
9 years old upwards.
Wow. And they were working down there.
Wow. Mm-hmm.
Is that the youngest?
Yes.
So that was the limit. That's from 9 years old, you can go down the mines.
It was illegal until you were 13, but the thing is, lots of the children around here didn't even know their own age.
When you hit the 30s to 40s, you were worthless, so they got rid of you and replaced you, or
The coolest artifact that we've ever found from a sort of historic side or ancient side has got to be that shovel.
Yes, you already carbon dated, didn't you?
That's it. So we found a wooden shovel that looked a bit like a paddle. It was a tiny thing, and got it radiocarbon dated, and it's over 2,000 years old. So it's Roman.
It's Roman,
late Iron Age, early Roman.
That's in one of your books, I think.
It is.
Yes.
Yeah. So that's probably from the ancient side the most significant, because this is the oldest known wooden mining artifact ever found in Wales. So tool that is. Yeah.
Wow.
One of the another cool thing with the boots is finding that very long level full of hobnail boot prints from children's size to big adult size, and finger marks on the walls with the clay which they used.
Was that on the program on the?
Some of it was.
Yeah, because I watched that. It was fantastic.
Yeah,
really good.
Yeah.
It was part of it was the same mine, wasn't it? Yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
What is it that keeps you going down there? Is it like the geology, the history,
the
exploration?
History and preserving the history. Because some of the mines we filmed on our YouTube channel, you can't get in them anymore. They've collapsed completely, so preserving the history.
I'm working towards having a mining museum.
Oh, wow.
So that's the ultimate goal from the sort of historic side, as far as I'm concerned, So and through doing what we're doing, we're building up material,
Nice.
that can be implemented into that museum.
Yes, absolutely. Yeah.
How many mines are there in like our area, in like mid Wales, in Ceredigion, for
Have a
example?
guess.
That's a good
my
question.
God.
Okay, I'm going to go for 50.
I'll go less.
Okay, I'll say 1,000
Yeah.
In Ceredigion?
in central Wales. Ceredigion and Old Montgomeryshire.
1,000?
Over 1,000.
I thought it would be way less.
Yeah.
It shows what I know, though.
Way back to Bronze Age.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, they wouldn't have all been working at the same time. There would have never been more than maybe 200 or 300 working at the same time. But if you think about 4,000 years of prospecting and trialing all over the area in Ceredigion and kind of central Powys, Old Montgomeryshire as it was, over 1,000 sites. So plenty to keep us going for a while.
Oh yeah.
How many have you been down?
Too many to lost count.
Hundreds.
It's 100.
Yeah.
Hundreds.
Yeah.
Are you trying to go down them all? Is that...
It doesn't. It's not our goal, really, is it?
No.
Our goal is to focus on the sites which need it most.
Okay.
And to really focus on these areas that need recording. If it takes us to every mine there is, then great. But it's not the ultimate goal, really.
No,
we
fair
don't
enough.
tick mines off lists.
Fine.
Can we talk a little bit about how that BBC programme, it's amazing, by the way, I watched it, it's fantastic. How did that kind of come together? How did you...
I had a message off this woman, Rachel her name is, and I thought it was a scam or something. She said, I have a brilliant idea for you guys for a TV programme through the YouTube channel. I thought, it's a scam this, so I ignored it.
Yeah.
No way.
And then it happened again and again, and then I responded to it. Then, what's your idea? And then I gave her my email, and she emailed me with this. I'm Rachel from Avanti Media, and we'd love to do a TV program with you, because what you do is so unique. And it went from there.
Wow.
That's how it happened.
And what was the experience like actually filming it and the process of it?
It was about 8 days of
That's right.
tiredness.
Yeah, it was very tiring.
Long
Very full on.
hours,
Yeah,
long days,
yeah,
but
yeah,
it was
yeah.
amazing,
Yeah.
absolutely amazing.
I enjoyed best when you and I went down into the mine itself with the
Yes.
little cameras.
Yes.
And then we came back and we had this massive audience waiting for us, and we came out, wasn't there?
Yeah, there's a lot of loads of, when they were interviewing us in our houses, loads of do that again.
Oh, was there?
So
Right.
tiring. Having a
Okay.
big, huge camera in your face, and a camera there and a camera there.
And having to act like you hadn't said it yet as well. If you had to do it for the 5th time, you had to act like you've not said it at
Yeah.
all. Like how many times do I say hi, like when I meet you and stuff, So it's
It's
all
really
about
well,
acting natural.
It's tough filming a documentary. They want it right, don't they?
Of course they do.
Yeah.
And it was well
But
worth
what
it.
we filmed underground was just us, how we film our YouTube channel. We just did it in one go, didn't we?
Mm-hmm.
So there was no change for you in a way? It's
No.
just
We
what
just
you
filmed like
normally
we
do.
film our YouTube channel.
Yeah.
so,
Did they came down with you a little bit, did they, or not?
They came in.
A few yards, didn't they?
Oh, that was
A
it.
few yards.
They came in Cumberstwith with us.
Oh, that's right. Yeah.
Take photos of us next to the cart.
And the museum mine, they went into the top of the first abseil, and then we went off down into the abyss. Then.
Yeah.
What was so for the miners? What do you reckon life was like for them?
Oh, tough.
Tough, cold, and short.
Yes, tough.
Yeah,
Well,
short
Short,
life.
definitely.
It's
I
fine.
mean, average age, lifespan.
40, 45.
Yeah, you hear people moaning about the weather's rubbish outside and blah 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 and all that. The power cuts we had recently.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
many people moaning about that.
Yeah.
You ain't got a clue.
No.
No.
You know,
No.
those miners made what we got now, basically. Didn't
Half
they?
of Aberystwyth, if you look at round town today, half of that was built as a result of the mining industry.
Yeah.
And it's like, what is there now to represent that? Another hashtag museum there. It's just there's nothing at all to represent that. And as you're saying, I mean, you work 6 days a week, 12 hours a day, and the one day off you get Sunday, you spend it all in chapel. So you never had any free time to yourself whatsoever.
No.
So.
Bloody tough times.
Oh, yeah.
Really tough.
unbelievable, yeah.
But no choice either, I guess.
Well,
It wasn't
you
much.
two have to come underground with us to see what it was really like.
Even though I'm kind of terrified, I'm up
There
for
you
it.
go.
Yeah.
It's the only way to really
Yeah.
experience that feeling.
I'd love
Well
to.
up for it.
I'd love to.
We'll
Definitely.
tie you together so you don't lose you.
The time to him.
I'd be an absolute liability, probably.
So as he falls, I'll go with him.
No, I'd be up for that. I'd love that, actually.
How do you sort of balance like the filming and documenting and staying safe? Because if you're there with the camera, you might be looking around. Is there any risks to that,
That's
or
where
is it
research
just
comes in.
Fine.
We research the mines. If there's history on it, research it. We know it's safe to do so.
okay?
There's always one of us in front,
Yeah.
Sometimes it's a lot easier when we're revisiting somewhere, because obviously since we're gaining subscribers all the time, some of them wouldn't have seen the earlier mines. So if we've already been there, then we have an idea of what's going on, and we're a bit easier filming then.
So a lot of the mines we go in, we haven't filmed. So we're going back to them to film them. So we know what they're like. So.
Fine. So it's not all brand new whilst you're filming.
Not always, no.
About half and half, isn't it?
Half and half. Yeah. Once we open up, we dig open, we leave them breathe for a few weeks. That's first time going in.
Yeah, that's the real special deal when you get one of those.
We want our
open.
instant reactions, do you know what I mean? So
Yeah.
Do you take any sort of like gas monitors down there?
Yeah.
Because I was thinking like I even have to use a gas monitor to go in a floor void in the hospital or something. I was thinking you guys are going into like
spare torches, gas monitors. You
Yeah.
know?
The good thing with the mines around here is that you don't get, like with coal mines, you don't get methane, you don't get fire damp, black damp, or anything like that. But you do just get general lack of oxygen.
yeah, low oxygen.
Exactly.
Is what I was thinking about.
So that's the main thing you got to look out for, really. Hydrogen sulfide as well, to some extent. So we've got meters then that'll scream in our faces if
They're pretty. So when we do our research, we find out they've got air shafts and stuff, so that you're good to go if they've got an air shaft anyway. So.
Do you take oxygen with you then? Do you take anything down with you?
No.
Just the monitor to know that you've got like a
Yeah.
decent
We're on
percentage
here,
in the
we're
air.
on
Gotta
here.
get out type thing.
Yeah, and as Al said, if you can feel a nice healthy breeze blowing out through the entrance, then you know you're all right, because you've got a shaft or something going up to the surface. It's like a chimney effect. So that's what the miners aimed for anyway, so that they didn't have to worry about it when they were causing dust and drilling and whatnot.
Yeah.
So.
Obviously, like the mines within Wales is like close to your heart, isn't it? Obviously, because we're sort of from this area, etc. But would you ever like to explore a mine not in Wales, or like further afield, or is it
I'd like to go to Utah. Yeah.
Utah.
Utah?
What's
Is
there
that
then?
salt mine or is it?
I think there's gold mines.
Gold
there.
mines.
So the guy, my friend Tyler, kind of helped us with our YouTube channel in the early days. He lives in Utah, and he's invited us over there to. He lives on a ranch, and it's got surrounded by canyons and mines and things like that.
Wow.
That's where I'd like to go.
How about yourself? Ioan?
I'm actually quite happy with Mid Wales, actually. It seems very boring of me, but it's like when I've had offers and stuff to go elsewhere, of course I'll do it, but I feel like Mid Wales is the area that needs our attention. So it's always interesting to go elsewhere, but I feel a sort of duty to see this museum through and to see all of this through here, because it's so needing it here. It's an interesting little dynamic, really. Yeah. I just feel like the duty is here, although I would absolutely love to go elsewhere just for fun, obviously.
Yeah, absolutely, sure.
Any eerie, creepy stories happen to you? Anything?
Oh wow!
Where do we start?
Come on.
Where do we start? We were in a what is called a coffin level. It's literally shaped like a coffin. I will send you a picture.
Okay.
Nearby, and we were filming the history of the mine, dug in the 1600s, and abseiled down a shaft and sort of dog legs.
That's right.
Left, isn't it? And on the bend there, we were filming these pick marks, and I go, "Did you hear that?" And we stopped, and we could hear this weird,
Like a sludging footsteps in the mud
bizarre
sort of
sound.
noise.
Oh god.
Proper heebie-jeebies, and to this day we don't know what it is.
There was nobody there because we just abseiled down the rope and whatever. There
it
was
actually
nobody
went
there.
viral, that video, on Lad Bible, I think.
It did.
We named the video The Haunted Mine, I think, because we don't know what it was. We went back, we did a revisit a few months later then, and it happened again, but not as loud.
It happened again.
Yeah, and then recently, me and my wife were exploring opposite where I live, and very similar sound. I caught it on film as well.
There was a weird one a few weeks ago, and there when we went into a long level, and halfway along, well,
I didn't hear it.
You didn't hear it.
No. Even
I
Lois heard it.
Yeah, I heard, and Lois, your wife, we both heard something we can only describe as like a child's voice singing, It was a really, really
It
weird,
was you described it as like a high pitch.
like a high-pitched sing-song sort of
That
little
That sounds
girl.
awful.
So
And we both
terrifying.
heard it, but you didn't. And it wasn't the wind, because it's a dead-end tunnel, so there's no
Yeah.
wind blowing through it.
I was ahead. You were filming.
That's right.
I was 30, 40 yards
Yeah.
ahead of you. But when I put the video on the laptop, you could see the spike in the sound, but you can't hear it on the camera. You could see a spike go.
Oh,
That was really weird.
That was bizarre too, but
We heard it a couple times, and you never did.
Yeah.
So I don't know if we're susceptible to.
I don't like that. I don't like that
Weirdness.
sort of stuff. It gives me the creeps a little
Bizarre
bit.
it was. Really
Very
bizarre.
weird. We don't know what it was.
No idea.
But all we know for sure is it wasn't the wind, because there was no wind. And footsteps don't make sing-song noises, do they?
No.
So,
Could have
and
been-
what we did find out after,
Yes. you
I
did some research,
I did some research, and no joke, found out that a miner was killed there in 1912 at that exact part of the mine. So miners were all male, so I don't know why it sounded like a little girl's voice, but there was a death right
It
there.
could be
in June
dripping
1912.
water and the echoes of the mine,
Could be anything.
Have you ever found an animal down there? Is in obviously probably not deep into the mine, but like we ever
Like
found-
alive or
Well, anything dead, alive,
found a
anything at
dead
all.
cow carcass. didn't
Cow,
we?
a cow,
Cow.
They get down there.
complete
Did they?
skeleton of a cow, fox,
Found a fox yesterday.
Yeah.
Did you
Yeah.
just get lost down there type
a
of thing?
skeleton of a fox. Yeah.
Alive wise, we see lots of cave spiders. They live in there quite happily.
An
Moths
eel.
and such.
I've seen an eel in an
Eels,
entrance of a mine.
Who?
God.
There was fish in one once. This was on my own, this one, but there was a long drainage level that connected to a big quarry, and there were trout swimming up and down.
No way.
Yeah.
I put the ROV in an adit at Nantamore. We've got a little mini submarine. Well, it's not mini, but a radio controlled submarine.
No way.
Got one of them stuck in an adit, and there's like a giant tadpole. It looked like a tadpole. It was huge.
It looked massive on the screen.
It was as big as my thumb, and bizarre. Bizarre, yeah, like a mutant tadpole in a mine.
Are any of the areas in the mine totally submerged?
Many.
Underwater. And have you ever thought about sort of getting on some gear and going in the water or not? Or do you only wade
We've got a
through
machine that
We
does
have
it
a
for
machine
us.
does it for us. Yes.
That's safer.
Which you mentioned
We've
then, was
swam
the-
in and we put the dry suits on and go
Yeah.
up to here.
Yeah, yeah.
And swam in. The pearl mine, for instance, it's this
Okay.
deep.
Oh, God.
So that's something else to see that for real. Covered in pearls.
No way.
That's the nickname for them.
Yeah. Lots of the mines go down below sea level, so most of them are actually flooded. And if they go below the floor of the valley or whatever, then we've got to get our ROV and send that off down into the workings. And then sometimes we get great results. We've found trains of carts on the track down under the water and stuff, Titanic style. And then other places we've gone and the water's been cloudy and we've had to give up. Every trip's a bit different. You never know.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah, that's true. Amazing. A submarine. That's crazy.
It's called a five-fish ROV. It's about this big.
And it's got a good camera on it.
very
or-
heavy
Yeah,
camera,
it's exactly
yeah.
like a mini version of what they use when they go to the Titanic,
Yes, yeah,
with
got
the little
you.
hooks on the front and whatever. It's a mini version of those.
Yeah.
200-meter cable on it,
Ah, okay.
and it goes a fair way. Yeah.
It's definitely safer, isn't it?
Yes, there's
Then
plenty
you
of
go
videos
now.
on our channel with it.
Have you ever, I don't know, had a bad feeling about when you're walking down in a mine and think, not today?
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah. Some mines, it's weird. I don't know if you get the same feeling, but sometimes you walk in through the entrance and you just feel like I should not be here. This just feels wrong. There's a horrible atmosphere in there.
Yeah, I've had it, and then I got hurt straight after. So
Really?
that's when I fell off the
Well, that's
ledge.
interesting.
Yeah.
Your intuition was correct
I didn't-
in a way.
It was when the big fire was on in Cumrail. Do you remember that a few years back?
I think I do.
Yeah, it was a mine near there, and pulled up outside it. This fireman came up and he says, "We advise you not to go in there. The big fire's over there." I said, "I'll be all right.
Yeah.
We know what we're doing and all that." You weren't with me then.
No.
So we kayaked in, and I just didn't feel right. And then I had that accident and fell off the ledge. Fell quite a distance, broke my ribs, knocked myself out.
On your own?
No, it was with somebody. Yeah.
Did they have to sort of remove you, or did you come to enough for
I
you
come
to get
to
out?
enough, and adrenaline got me up. I had to climb about 50 feet up a rope. I didn't fall 50 feet. I fell maybe 20.
That's enough.
Yeah,
You
and
swung, didn't you?
I swear I was on the rope and swung. Yeah.
and to get out injured as well. But that was no.
So, do you always have to go down in twos then?
At least.
At least.
Yeah, I was gonna- yeah.
It makes sense, right? You wouldn't
Yeah,
really go
yeah.
down.
At least there's three
Anything
of us. My
between-
wife, me, and Ioan usually.
Okay.
Oh, your wife goes down as well, is it?
Yeah,
Oh, okay.
yeah,
I thought it
yeah.
was just the two of you.
I wouldn't get mine near my girlfriend nearer mine.
No.
Not interested. No.
Because she was quite worried about you on that documentary. She came across as
Yeah,
not
she-
question you, but like, you sure you want to?
Yeah, she's just pretending. I don't know.
Oh, is
She
it?
comes with us. So
Fine.
She comes
Right,
with us.
got you.
She is a bit worried. She
Yeah,
she
natural.
does worry. Like we went underground last night. She couldn't come in the level we went in because you had to climb down a wall like that, and she was worried. Like, make sure we got out okay.
Yeah.
It's always good to have someone on the outside
It
in
is,
any
yes.
case, isn't it?
Definitely.
And always tell someone where you're going.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Is there anything, talking like sort of about artifacts within the mine, is there anything that you haven't come across that you'd love to? Like a certain artifact or something to do with mining, etc. Or have you seen kind of pretty much shoes, carts?
There was one up until last year, and unfortunately, you weren't with me at the time, but managed to find let me get this right now, the largest underground water wheel ever found in the UK. And it's also the oldest one ever. It's a complete 20-foot diameter underground water wheel installed about half a mile underground to work the pumps, entirely out of wood, and nearly 200 years old, and it's completely
And it
Was
intact.
that just to remove water?
It was
Is
to
it
pump water out. correct.
Yeah, just to
And-
get
and
rid
they
of
had
water.
a
yeah.
bonus. You found out later, didn't you? It had one above it.
There's another one. There were two of them. Yeah.
Turned out there
So
was two of them.
there were only two known complete examples of underground water wheels in the UK, and then went and found another two last year. So we've just doubled that, and these are a
Wow.
lot older. So that was probably the most significant find I've ever made.
Yeah.
So we've seen a bit of everything, really, haven't we?
Yeah.
Yeah, I can't think of anything I'd like to see. Maybe
Yeah.
a complete train of carts.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I've seen two, I think.
We've seen two coupled together, haven't we? Yeah.
Oh, with the ROV then. That is,
Of course.
Have you ever looked into your sort of family tree, either of you, in terms of like mining within your family or anything like that?
Don't know about
My family come from Ireland and the Midlands. So
Right, okay.
They haven't got... Not round here, they haven't.
Okay.
There's one branch of my family that were from Ponte de Grois.
Okay.
So the mines that we explore just south of Aber, that would have been where we're talking 3 or 4 generations back,
Okay.
they would have worked. So I think the one that we did in the TV show, that was one, wasn't it?
One of your
So
ancestors,
that's my one sort of ancestral connection right
That must
there.
have felt quite kind of special to go into that mine knowing that 3-4 generations previous that you had a family there.
Absolutely.
When we got to the end of that level, we turned our torches off. We found a seating area. They dug out an area and it was covered in tallow marks. Tallows as candles.
Yeah.
And all stuck on the walls, all burn marks everywhere. And we just sat there and told that. And it's amazing. isn't
Yeah,
it?
it was really cool.
God, it gives you the goosebumps thinking about it.
You can hear them almost.
Yeah, you could, yeah. You could hear the water dripping in the distance and stuff. That was something else.
The entire families just lived, worked, and died at those
Yeah.
mines.
If you're a builder, we found one of the most amazing stone arches ever
Oh yeah,
in this mine. Maybe 200 meters long.
that's right.
maybe,
Yeah.
but maybe that.
Wow.
It's dry stone arch. It's beautiful. Sort of 5 foot high, maybe. I'll send you a photo. of
Yeah,
that.
definitely.
It's
Yeah.
a good 200 years old, isn't it? And it's
It's-
completely immaculate.
It's amazing. Yeah, that was a pretty cool find. Yeah, to see that and somebody had made the effort to build it.
Yeah. It's amazing to think all this is pretty much on our doorstep and we don't see it.
Do
But
know
you
what?
are documenting it for us all to watch.
Our YouTube channel,
awesome.
Lost Mines, our biggest audience is America,
Okay.
and we're filming it on our doorstep,
Yeah.
and our smallest audience is the UK.
It's funny that, isn't
How
it?
bizarre.
Yeah.
Why do you think that is?
It takes an outsider to see the value in something.
Yes.
Yeah.
It does, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a
Yeah.
good way of putting it, actually. Because
Yeah.
it is on our doorstep. It's like, oh, yeah.
Yeah, that's what it certainly seems like, isn't it? That it's just like we're so, especially local landowners, perhaps, I don't know, people who have just grown up with these old piles of ruins and piles of rock on the land. It just makes no difference to them to bulldoze it. But
No.
to someone perhaps coming in from the outside, it's like, oh wow, look at that. You should do something with that or whatever. Perhaps that's what's been going on. I don't know.
Maybe.
But
Did you ever expect your YouTube channel to sort of take off like it has?
Didn't do it for that.
No.
No, didn't do it for
It just
that.
happened naturally,
It's-
didn't
it?
We actually got hacked about 3 years
Yeah,
ago.
something like that.
Lost
No.
a lot.
No.
All our subs, everything. Yeah, and my friend in America got it back for us. We had,
So you did salvage it, sort
we
of
had
thing.
22,000 followers and lost a lot.
Wow.
That was a toughie. But yeah, it's amazing what it's doing. It's on 43,000 and growing every day. Didn't expect it.
No.
To do that. Not fussed if
It's
Yeah.
rewarding because I
rewarding,
never
yeah.
would have thought like that many people had an interest in these holes in the ground in mid Wales, but they do.
Yeah, but
So-
people abroad do.
They do.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Not so much
Have to
locally.
offer
So
free
it's
tickets
like
to come
America,
over.
Australia, Canada. Those are our top viewers.
Like, yeah.
France, UK, and all that. Europe.
Yeah,
near
Europe
the
aren't that
bottom.
bothered.
Near the
No.
bottom. It's
It's
crazy.
funny.
Especially the UK. That's crazy. That's UK second or third from the bottom of our viewers. YouTube is, if you wanted to crack YouTube, it's tough. Yeah, but we're not doing it for that.
No, of course
No,
not.
of course not. I don't think many people do, or I'd like to think not. It's just that you want to share these amazing experiences of you going down in these incredible mines.
It's a surprise it got to
Everybody.
where it has now.
Yeah, because we didn't well, like you just said, we were just doing our own thing, doing what we're doing, and it just kind of did it on its own, really.
Yeah.
And it's just evolved into what it is. Whereas we're just there trying to show people and showcase this neglected heritage, shall we say, and it's just done it of its own accord.
Yeah.
With a little bit of help here and there.
How much longer do you want to sort of do this for?
Well,
As long as you're able to, I'm guessing, is
As long as
it?
you're able to.
Yeah.
I'll do it a few more years. I'm nearly
Think-
55, so
That's nothing. You got.
I'll do it a few more years.
Plenty more time.
Yeah, plenty more time. To
Plenty
go
more
in.
years.
I have
Certainly
another
plenty more
YouTube
minds, that's
channel
for
with
sure.
my wife, so I
Okay.
can play with that then when I get
Yeah.
a bit older.
What, also to do with mines or something separate?
Separate, yeah. She makes sea glass jewellery and stuff. So,
Okay.
I love sea glass.
Yeah, and we do a bit of metal detecting, bottle digging and all that.
Do you still do the metal detecting?
Yeah.
What's the best thing you found metal detecting?
Ooh, now then. 3 gold sovereigns,
Wow.
hammered coins, the earliest King John, 1199. Found 2 of those.
Do you go to particular sites where you obviously think that there are, or is it just quite random where you metal detect?
Do a bit of research again.
Yeah, a bit of research.
Look for the footpaths
Yeah,
and then go there then.
where you think there'd be some people there if
Get
you.
permission and off you go.
Yeah.
You have to get permission. What happens if you get permission from the landowner? Then you find something. What happens there? Is it the landowner's
I've
property?
always offered it to the landowner. I've
Yeah.
never found a hoard or anything like that.
No, but
Like
where
the
do you?
gold sovereigns, I found one up in Capel Sion.
Yeah.
I know the farmer very well. I took it straight to him. I filmed and made a video of it. Took it straight to him. Says, "Here you go, found that on your field. Do what you want with it." He kept it for a while, give it back, and he says, "Sell it and split the money." So that's what I did.
Oh, fair play.
Yeah, so
Is that kind of like what you're meant to do
just-
with it? Or I don't really.
that's
know.
what I do.
Yeah, and it sounds the right thing
Yeah,
to do.
yeah,
Don't get me wrong.
yeah.
It feel really weird if you found like a load of gold under there. Or
Loads
something.
don't do that.
You what, sorry?
Loads of people don't do that. They just stick it in the.
Oh, they
Yeah.
literally, yeah, and then they say, had a rubbish day, didn't find
Didn't
anything.
find anything.
I found
Sack of gold coins, carrying it back to the van.
I found a gold sovereign and a William silver milled coin, which is a very nice coin, in the same field. Took them both to the landowner, said, "Take your pick," and he chose the silver coin. And I kept the half sovereign. That was I kept that. Yeah.
It's interesting. It's like treasure hunting.
Yeah.
My
Yeah,
granddad
it is.
found a Roman coin when he was in World War II, basically. I think it was in the desert somewhere. Yeah, it was just in his camp. He was just digging when Roman coin came out.
Wow.
I'll send you a photo of that, actually, because I'm not going to name how old it is, but I was shocked when I saw how old it was.
Has
So
it got
obviously,
like a
obviously
date
eBayed it.
on it,
It
or
was
is
worth
it
25 quid.
still there?
Good old luck. Tiny little thing.
It's
pretty cool that
I've
it's
had a
from-
few Roman coins.
Have you?
Yeah,
Yeah.
you do find them around, yeah.
There was a Roman, there was a bronze brooch, wasn't there, that we
Wow.
found one day.
You found it.
I found, that's right. Yeah, it was a really nice bronze brooch and would have had blown glass in it and worn wherever. Yeah, that was particularly nice. Yeah.
After your injuries, I think you said you both had like falls where you
Yes.
sort of like injured yourself. Did you like? Did it take you a little bit of time to get back in the groove when you kind of came back after recovery? Did you feel any differently? Were you more cautious?
A bit more cautious because I'm scared of heights. as
Okay.
well. And I just
Right.
I didn't know that.
yeah, I'm scared of heights, petrified
Okay.
of heights, but I still abseil and stuff.
Yeah.
But I was a bit more cautious when I went back to it. I took about a month away from it, and then
And how about yourself?
I made a point of not doing that because I was scared that I would not be able to go back then. So I just carried on going.
Right.
I knew at the time, because in my case, what happened in my case is half the wall came away. So I knew that there was no way I could have prepared myself for that. I hadn't lacked in, kind of looking what I was doing or anything. I didn't do anything that I caused. So I just thought, okay, that's happened. Keep going and just be more observant maybe. But I made a point of sort of keeping it going. Otherwise, I'd be scared to start again.
Yeah, you sort of got to get back on the bike.
As long as you
Yeah.
know that you're doing everything you can to mitigate, then yeah.
You don't overthink it either, do you?
no.
No.
I do sometimes when I'm about to go over the edge, and then I just I'm not doing it today.
Yeah.
That bit when
Yeah.
you go over the edge of the lip onto the rope to go down a 300-foot deep shaft or something. It's,
I think I've been more. No, I've jumped out of a plane once,
Right.
see, I would never do that.
but I've
That's
also
cool.
abseiled, and my legs were shaking more abseiling
Really?
than it was. But jump out of a plane. Yeah,
I
obviously
could
you're
never
tied
do.
to
I could
someone,
never do the plane.
But I've got no choice. I'm tied to him, and I'm up there. I paid for
Yeah.
it, so I'm not going to
Yeah,
come
you're
back
not
down
gonna
in the
go back
plane.
down,
Yeah.
Climb more than anything. But yeah, just lowering yourself over. My legs, I remember just like, don't like this,
Yeah,
don't like
yeah,
this. But then as soon as you're moving, I think,
Hmm.
because it's just not natural, is it?
No.
It's a natural, reaction, isn't it, that the body's making? So in a way,
It's a fight or flight kicking in, isn't it?
yeah.
It is a bit, yeah.
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 So at least there's nothing wrong with this.
No.
That's an instinct.
Well, what are you sort of like working on at the moment, or where? Like, you don't have to say exactly where you're exploring, but is there like a particular thing that you're looking into at the moment, or a particular mine?
There's nothing in particular that we're working on, is there? We're just we've been looking at areas. Me personally, I'm working on a new book, but
Okay.
as far as the channel's concerned, we've been revisiting lots of areas that we've not been to for several years, and we now have much more experience in exploring. So we're seeing things that we didn't see before,
Yeah.
and that's also feeding into this new book as well, because obviously I've got to revisit that if I'm going to be writing about it. So
We do have one level we're gonna, which is potentially amazing, to dig open. We were going to film it on the TV documentary, but we never did.
I've forgotten
Not
where
going
it
to
is
give the
now.
location away.
No.
So many of them, I've forgotten which one it is.
And from our research, this mine is
Oh yeah.
going to have some cool stuff in there. So that's on the cards.
Nice.
I'm going up North Wales tomorrow with the ROV to stick in a famous slate mine with a chap who used to work there in the 60s and 70s. So that's going to be pretty cool.
So he's revisiting it.
He's coming along to give a brief history on it, and he wants to see. He vaguely remembers what's down there. And I said, "Don't tell me. I'll see for myself."
Yeah.
Yeah.
Gutted I'm going to be at work.
Yeah.
Maybe
That'd be
next time.
interesting.
Maybe next time.
That's what I enjoy about the channel as well, is the fact that, we've both got our day jobs, we both do our work, and then we meet up after work,
Yeah.
and then we'll go down underground, do a video.
Yeah.
It's a lovely way to round off the day, really.
Yeah, absolutely.
All right, and so where can people find you?
YouTube,
your
Lost
channel.
Mines.
Yeah.
Instagram, Lost__Mines. Facebook, Lost Mines.
Easy peasy.
Lost minds all around.
Lost Minds all around.
Yeah. I like
we have
it.
some merch coming out, t-shirts,
Have you?
hoodies, and mugs, hats, and all that.
Cool.
That's in process right now.
And if anybody wants to learn more about why we're doing the history and that or whatever, if you just put my name into Google, which is Ioan Lord, and book or whatever, I've got 3 books out at the moment which delve into the history of the mines in the area.
Amazing.
Published by the Vale of Rheidol Railway here in Aberystwyth. So those are all available to buy online as well. So it's just another showcase, really, isn't it?
It is.
A way to
Yeah.
get that message out to people. So,
Definitely.
Yeah.
And also, BBC iPlayer, Secrets of the Lost Mines. Check that out.
Watched
Yeah.
it. It's really good.
It's
Really
on
good.
iPlayer for another 6 months or 7 months.
Oh, they've given you like the
They
date where
gave
it's
us
sort
9
of like.
months on iPlayer. It did so well. Yeah.
Oh, brilliant.
Why was it originally going to be on for less?
Month.
What was it? A month.
Wow. It shows his interest there, doesn't it?
And
all the potentials there.
So
isn't
many
it?
people are asking for where's the next one? Where's the next one? So
Maybe one day.
watch this space. Is what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Cliffhanger.
I like it a lot.
Right, we always end up with a couple of like relatively quick fire questions. Okay, so it might throw you a little bit. Have you guys got a favourite film? Not collectively. You might be the same.
Titanic.
Oh,
Predator.
watched that the other night.
Very different movies there.
Right, I watched that 2 nights ago. Just revisited it. Still really good, you know.
Film. One of my,
Isn't
it?
my number one film. Yeah.
Love Titanic.
Yeah, Titanic's mine. Yeah, not the love side of it so much, but the historical side of it.
Yeah.
I'm a big fan of historical tragedy, which is I'm sure I'm a very fun person to be with on a Saturday night. But yeah, that's my favourite film.
Would you go down there?
I would.
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
I'd
I
like
would
to do that.
I would definitely do it.
That'd be cool, wouldn't it?
Yeah, I would. Because anything like these mines that connects us with the past like that, being able to see some sort of symbolism of what used to be and the repercussions of that event fascinate me. So
Have you seen the interview? I can't remember his name now, but he's one of the survivors from the Titanic, and it's obviously from the 60s.
probably Lightoller then. Lightoller, the second officer, and he
he pulled his watch out of his pocket, and it was the one he had on him at the time. And
Wow.
it stopped at, I think, 2:30 in the morning when it went
that's
down.
Yeah.
Harrowing, but so interesting.
Amazing.
It is. It's fascinating.
You have a cool thing, don't you? Because Ioan can play the piano really amazing.
Oh, can you?
So he visited the Titanic Museum in America and he played the Titanic
Theme song on a piano of the same make and model that was on the Titanic, a 1912 model.
How cool is that?
That
is no way.
An audience, didn't it?
That's right. It was in the museum in Tennessee.
No way.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah.
That is
Nice.
pretty cool. Is it true? I heard that this fact, but I don't know whether it's true because I don't know anything about mines. Is it true that they took down pasties and one half was savoury and one half was sweet?
That's Cornwall. Yeah.
Cornwall, so it is true, but it's not necessarily with the Welsh miners, but it's the Cornish miners.
I'm not 100% sure that it's true, but it's definitely a Cornish adage.
Yeah.
In Mid Wales, they would have had cheese, bread, and maybe some meat.
Yeah, almost like a...
Going back to this noise we hear, people say
Yeah.
Welsh folklore, it's the bucka, isn't it?
Yeah, bucka, a couple of nods.
Like troll-looking thing that lived in the mines, that's what they say.
Ooh, that's a bit creepy.
Making that noise.
Don't tell me that if we're going to go enjoy
I don't
the
like trolls.
We have we could be here for hours and tell you some amazing stories on the spooky things we found, like the witch marks and all that stuff. And
Right, we'll tell you what then. Halloween.
Yeah.
Come back in.
Yeah.
And we'll talk about all the creepy stuff.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'd love to
Deal?
have you back and do that.
Sounds good.
Yeah.
That'd be amazing.
mile away.
Music. What sort of music you guys listen to?
Led Zeppelin.
Good choice.
Pretty good. What else? I listen to anything but Led Zeppelin's top of the list.
Nice. How about
Country
you?
music all the way.
Are you
Country?
Yeah,
Okay.
my mom's from Texas, so
Ah,
I
right,
spent
okay.
a lot of time
Oh.
growing up out there. So country music for me, yeah.
I feel like
Yeah.
country's really sort of booming at the moment. I
It
mean,
is actually.
in the
Yeah.
UK,
Even
I
in
mean,
British
because,
pop, yeah.
like British people are singing like country songs as well as the American
They
artists.
are. It's interesting,
Like
isn't it?
it's like having a revival or something.
Yeah,
I don't
it
know
is. As
what's
of
going on,
last
you know?
year, the year before, it has
Yeah.
had some sort of a renaissance in a way.
Yeah, they
But
have.
I like the new stuff as well, but I do like the sort of 90s, early noughties country music.
90s had the best music.
Yeah.
Right, yeah, I'm biased.
Yeah.
Have you got a favourite random question I always ask? Have you got a favourite cereal? Or breakfast if you don't eat cereal.
Poached eggs and hash browns
Oh, that's nice.
with a bit of mustard on top.
Mustard.
There you go.
Okay. Nice.
Marks and Spencer's apple and cinnamon crunch.
I like how specific you've gone, and I like it.
It has to be crunch. Yeah, that's my favourite. Yeah,
I like it a lot.
Cool. All right. We've got a deal on Halloween special then.
Yeah.
You come here and then we'll come down the caves with you.